Hello everyone, Merry Christmas and Happy Boxing Day. Thank you so much for tuning in to GavsWeatherVids on your Boxing Day afternoon or evening, wherever you're watching this video. I hope you had a lovely Christmas. I hope it's been the Christmas of your dreams, even if it has been a little bit soggy across some parts of the country. Although the UK Met did confirm that there was a white Christmas in some areas yesterday, particularly in the north and over elevation. I think there's a little bit more, last night as well. It was rather widespread across some parts of the north last night. So, yeah, been so much toing and froing leading up to the Christmas period. But in the end, I suppose, it wasn't a widespread white Christmas, but there was snow around this Christmas. So, I just hope you had a lovely time anyway, whether you had snow or whether you had rain. And it's been grim here in Northants. It's been gloomy from beginning to end. It's still gloomy now, and I think the fog might be starting to descend now as well. So yeah, been a gloomy old lot here, very uninspiring. But that's it. You have to make the best of it, and I just hope you had a lovely Christmas, whatever you have been doing. So I'm going to do a 10 to 14 day for this Boxing Day. We'll go through some chart data. It's going to get really mild between Christmas and New Year. We'll have a look and see what happens when we get into January. So I'll go through the data for you in a moment. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next week to 10 days, or 10 to 14 days. Day 10 will take us to around the 5th of January, I think, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. Have a look at surface meter as well for the next 4 weeks, which gets us well into January. Of course, we'll begin bringing you up to date with everything that's going on stratosphere-wise. So yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy. Get yourself, a drink and a nibble, some nibbles, and we'll do your Boxing Day video. I need to say Christmas Day video a moment ago. We'll do your Boxing Day video for you in a second. We premiered our historic video last night on Christmas night, by the way. Thank you so much, everybody who checked into the premiere. It's absolutely lovely. We picked around 90 concurrent viewers, so it's a big old turnout. Thank you so much for sharing that time with me and with GavsWeatherVids, on your Christmas night. I hope you enjoyed the premiere. It's a very entertaining video, very funny at times. Staff's editing is absolutely fantastic on that video. Thank you so much to Savvy for the edit. And, it's very funny in places. So thank you very much to Sav for the edit, especially for Daddy of Cold Winters 1963. You've got to have a look at that. It's very funny. Thank you so much, Sav, for editing. The video for this Christmas Day, the historic video, looking at all New Year's data from 1836 to present. Right, we picked up a new channel member, so hello, Merry Christmas and Happy Boxing Day to our latest channel member, Scott Harrison. Thank you so much, Scott, for becoming a GavsWeatherVids channel member. That is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, my friend. And thank you so much to all of our channel members. We now have around 67 channel members. Can you believe it? So many channel members. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much to all our channel members and all of our PayPal donors and all of our patrons as well. Super chatters in the live stream, however, on the live streams, however you support GavsWeatherVids, it's just absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. If you'd like to become a channel member for GavsWeatherVids, all you need to do is click the join button, take you to another page where you can see what benefits you get for becoming a channel member on that page, and you can sign up as well. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to all of our channel members. I hope all of our channel members, all of our PayPal donors, all of our patrons, all of our super chatters, and, all of our subscribers, just everybody. I hope you're all having a lovely Christmas and Boxing Day. Right, so let's go through some data then. I'm going to start off having a look at temperature at 10 HPA over the North Pole. And we can see that it is now colder than average 10 HPA. So the grey line with the stratospheric temperature is like the average. So this is kind of like where we bottom out generally at this time of the year. Maybe into January we expect to start ticking up a little bit. But right now, virtually at the coldest period of the year in terms of stratospheric temperatures. We are colder than average, though. It would normally bottom out around minus 70, something like that. We're very close to minus 80, probably around minus 77, something like that. So temperatures at 10 HPA over the North Polar stratosphere are colder than average. And at 30 HPA, lower down, closer to the troposphere, we are actually even colder than that. We're around minus 85 at 30 HPA. Got a very cold temperature there. When the temperature goes this cold in the stratosphere, it does normally coincide with a ramp up in the polar vortex and, an increase in the zonal westerly flow. The polar vortex is rooted in the stratosphere over the North Pole, so when it gets this cold, it almost acts as an engine kind of to drive the polar vortex, if you see what I mean. And so we can expect, I think, to go through a period of quite a strong PV. Hopefully not a PV of doom, but I think we can expect to go through a period of quite a strong polar vortex with those temperatures that cold at 10 and particularly at 30 HPA. We're looking to reduce the strength of the polar vortex, so we're looking for a stratospheric warming, particularly a sudden stratospheric warming. That's when we lift the temperature up by around 50-60 degrees in a couple of days. So this is how temperatures are currently set up over the North Pole. We've got these blue, purple colours. This is from GFS, by the way. We've got these blue and purple colours. These are the cold temperatures that we just saw to 10 HPA in the stratosphere, between around minus 75, something like that, just there over pole itself, to like minus 84 around Greenland. Wow, wow, wow. I've got a little bit of a warming going on. It's a minor warming, but a little bit of a warming is taking place over Siberia at the moment. That'll have no impact for the time being. Let's see if there's any sign of a further warming. So this is quite interesting as we get into the new year. We do get a new warming beginning to appear from the Atlantic in towards the UK and Europe, actually. It's quite an unusual place to start off a stratospheric warming, but we see that this begins kind of from Eastern America, comes across the Atlantic, and moves into Europe as well. So quite a significant, it's not a sudden stratospheric warming, but it's quite a significant warming of the stratosphere taking place there in the mid-latitudes. Meanwhile, up in the pole, it looks like we begin to lift the temperature up and begin to stretch the PV a little bit. Notice how it's all very circular just there where we're starting off right now. As we get towards like the beginning of January, though, we find that things do start to get a little bit more stretched. That's because there's a warming taking place on either side of the pole. Got a bit of a minor warming here around Siberia, and this, a little bit more significant warming taking place over Europe, although it is not a sudden stratospheric warming, of course, nowhere near that. But it is enough to begin to stretch the it's enough to begin to stretch the polar vortex at its roots there, these cold temperatures, and lift them up a little bit as well. So that should see a return, at least at 10 HP anyway, that should see a return of stratospheric temperature getting back closer to average. Now, as we run into the extended range, is there any sign of a warming? What happens with this warming over Europe? So that starts to move towards Russia and begins to intensify a little bit more. So at this point, we've got 6th of January, I've got quite a significant warming that's moved from Europe into Russia. Meanwhile, the cold temperatures over the pole are still there, but are more towards the Canadian side of the Arctic, and not as intense as they are right now. The warming over Siberia kind of fades out, though, so it does not reach a sudden stratospheric warming level for the time being. As we get to the end of the GFS 6, we may be showing signs of beginning to get another warming going in the Atlantic, although that, of course, is 2 weeks away. Meanwhile, the cold temperatures over the pole are still there, so the polar vortex is still in business. Albeit it's probably been stretched a little bit and maybe displaced slightly, but nevertheless, still there over the pole with PV. So in the next couple of weeks, there's no sign of a sudden stratospheric warming. The wait goes on. I think we will get a sudden stratospheric warming this winter, with the easterly QBO and other factors. I think we're favouring a sudden stratospheric warming this winter, and the further on we get through the winter, the more the chance increases, but we'll get a sudden stratospheric warming. They tend to happen later on in winter. They can sometimes happen in January as well. So we're just going to keep monitoring. We'll keep waiting and seeing, and we'll see what happens. Right, central temperature is looking like this. So the CT is currently standing at 5.9 up to Christmas Day. That is 1.1 degree above 61 nightly average, so milder than average with December. And that's going to go up over the next few days. Probably going to hold steady at that sort of level for the next day or two. But towards the end of the month, it is going to go up. And I think we're thinking that it's going to finish up at 6.5. So it is going to be another significantly milder than average month, of course. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. So red line is 30 upper air temperature average for London. We're starting off a little bit above average at the moment. It's going to get even milder, though, towards New Year. We could get some date records around New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I think the highest ever recorded temperatures on those days are around 15 degrees, so we are going to be getting very close to that, if not possibly going above it. So we might set our warmest New Year on record. So that's something to watch out for. As we go further on through the first week of January, we begin to get a little bit of scatter. There are a few cold outlier members appearing. So there are some GFS ensemble members that are starting to turn things cold. However, most of them are keeping things pretty mild, it has to be said, through the first week of January. And precipitation-wise, just quite unsettled, really, as you'd expect, with it being mild and everything coming in off the Atlantic. We see, you know, quite a lot of precipitation, especially to start off with, and then again later. Over the New Year, over the mildest period itself, just here, we perhaps get a few days of drier weather, actually. Temperature anomalies from the 26th of December to the 3rd of January are looking exceptionally mild. Look at these deep red colours here across the UK and Ireland. In fact, we're not alone. Most parts of Europe, away from Scandinavia, are looking really quite mild, if not relatively warm, actually, through the weekend, with temperature anomalies around 6 to 8 degrees or 8 to 10 degrees above average in some areas. So this is an exceptionally mild end to the year and beginning to 2022. No getting away from that whatsoever. Precipitation anomalies from the 26th of December to the 3rd of January. A little bit wetter average for northern areas, near normal precipitation elsewhere, but certainly not overly settled, but equally not overly unsettled either. See, largely dry on average weather over Scandinavia, so the Scandinavian high is still in business by the look of it, but at the moment it cannot push those easterlies out into northern and western Europe. Although, having said that, we have actually got wind in from the east a little bit at the moment. We've got this southeasterly wind that's left over from Christmas. Most parts of Europe are still freezing cold, of course, in the north. But yeah, you know, we're on the periphery of that. We are beginning to move the winds back in from the Atlantic, and these Atlantic-driven winds, the winds from all of this direction are on their way to us over the next few days, and will bring not only rain, but also very mild temperatures with them. Right, let's go from chart data then. So this is how the UK Met Euro is looking for Wednesday. This is when we start to introduce this very mild push of air from the Azores. So a big old southwesterly sets up as we come up towards the New Year. That's Friday, New Year's Eve. It looks exceptionally mild with the air driving up. Look how far southwesterly wind is going, you know, almost off the chart really down here. So the air is coming like south of the Azores and from Canary Islands and Madeira and those areas. So it is going to be exceptionally mild as we get to the New Year. Also unsettled low pressure will bring outbreaks of rain, particularly to western areas, and that's how we look as we get to 2nd of January. That's as far as we go from New Year's Day to 2nd of January at midnight. And low pressure beginning to move closer to us, so we're starting to cut off the warmest of that southwesterly, but it will still be very mild. And this low pressure will be bringing further bouts of rain, of course. We're going to start looking at Icon in the videos as well, I decided, as that is the model that came out best, you know, with the Christmas with the Christmas fiasco. So Icon was never particularly set on a cold Christmas, certainly not for southern areas anyway. And so, yes, I think we will start including Icon within the data as well. So this is how Icon is looking. We'll have a look at that one then, shall we? Actually want to flip this over, I think. So we're going to there. Right, this is how Icon is looking on the midnight run for Wednesday. Southwesterly winds are being introduced then, and that long fetch southwesterly carries on as we move up towards the New Year as well. So you can see that Icon is well and truly set on very, very mild weather into the New Year. That's midnight on New Year's Day, which is looking really warm as well. Looking at upper air temperatures. Look at that. We're looking out of place in some of that. Got 10 Celsius iceberg into northern France, and the 15 Celsius iceberg is across some parts of France. I mean, the 15 Celsius iceberg is what you expect to see in the summer, not on the 1st of January. I expect to see that, you know, on the 1st of June or the 1st of July, but extraordinarily warm, actually, with those upper air temperatures. with that ridge of high pressure around the new year. Meanwhile, Scandinavia does continue to look quite cold, though. As we go beyond that, as far as we go to with Icon is to 180 hours, where we are cutting off the warmest of that southwest. It's still mild, still putting the air in off the Atlantic, but we've lost the exceptional warmth. That's pushed it over to eastern parts of Europe, and we're just sort of more sensibly mild then, I suppose. Look at the upper air temperatures are back to a more sensible type level. You don't have to go all that far north to run into cold air. The cold air never gets displaced, which is interesting actually. This is an exceptionally warm push, but even so, it never is able to displace that cold air out of Scandinavia. It does get to like southern Scandinavia, some parts of Norway, some parts of Sweden, just as far south of Scandinavia. But the rest of Scandinavia, the majority of Scandinavia, is able to keep that cold, you know, in position, which is quite interesting, actually. And I would say that perhaps bodes for some colder weather, you know, later on in the winter, when we will probably lose the strength of the polar vortex. We will probably lose the potential for extreme warmth push in from the south and from the southwest. So we can hold on to that cold air across most of northern Europe, even with other, you know, Western Europe becoming so exceptionally mild, then that might actually bode quite well, I think, for like later on in the winter. Let me know in the comments what you think about that idea. This is our GFS midnight race. Again, southwest winds being introduced on Wednesday. Big old southwesterly push through to the new year. Going to be exceptionally mild new year. We do try to pull some cold air down, though, around New Year's Day, actually, with this ridge around Iceland. That's trying to get wind back into north. We may actually pull some colder air into northern Scotland, but really it's the mild air from the southwest that keeps going. So up to the new year and beyond it, we just keep these very mild southwesterly winds pushing in. Beyond that, further through the first week of January, then we go unsettled. And the suggestion moves southwards, we begin to go a little bit cold as well. So we call this cold zonality, which could deliver some snow into northern areas. Won't probably deliver much snow down south, though. And then by the end of the GFS 6, we're raising the heights through Western Europe, but also raising the heights across northern Europe again as well. So lifting pressure over Scandinavia, connecting back towards Siberia. It looks like it's turning increasingly blocked there at the end of the GFS midnight run. That gets us to the 11th of January. It's a very, very, very long way off. We know what's been going on with the model output lately, so I would not take that seriously. This South 6 is looking at the latest GFS, again pulling in those very, very mild, if not warm, southwesterly winds. They carry on into the new year as well. We do have a go at pulling some slightly colder air into northern Scotland, but it doesn't really come to a great deal. And into the first week of January, just stays unsettled with further low pressure pushing through. We begin to lose the exceptional warmth from the southwest. That sort of gets pushed through France and Germany towards eastern parts of Europe, and we go more sensibly mild. Scandinavia, away from southern Scandinavia anyway, holds on to the cold air, as does most of Finland, northeastern parts of Europe as well. And heights are relatively high still, actually, over the over Greenland, you know, within high latitude. And actually, we do begin to turn a little bit colder as we go towards the acceleration for GFS 6. Then we do start to pull in some cold air from the north. Again, that's mainly because the jet stream is shifting southwards. So the -5 Celsius ice will start to trickle south across the country by the 7th of January, and then we sort of try and bring low pressure into that. So it all gets rather interesting towards the new year, with towards the second week of January, I should say, as it begins to not only be unsettled, but begins to go somewhat cold as well, the jet stream moving southwards. GM looks like this. If you enjoyed the video on this Boxing Day, please keep smashing the like button, make sure you sub to the channel. Thank you so much for doing that, and drop a comment. Let us know anything about this and all of our videos. Merry Christmas, everyone, and happy Boxing Day. Right, GM has southwesterly winds pushing up that really warm air on Wednesday through Thursday through to New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, again, we're trying to pull some cold air into Scotland. England and Wales still looking very, very mild, and then this low pressure comes rolling through in around a week's time, and as that clears eastwards with GM, then starts to pull down some colder air from the north. So we finish up at day 10, which is 5th of January, with a ridge in the Atlantic towards Greenland, Iceland, and something of a northerly wind beginning to push down across the country. Actually bring -10 Celsius ice firm into the north and east. That's a very long way off, and if it did come off, I think that would only be like a Toppler type thing. It'd be just a brief cold snap, but you know, maybe a little bit of potential, a little bit of cold potential later on into first week of January. And then ECM looking like that again, very, very mild with those southwest winds setting in through the New Year period. Long effect southwest, bringing the air up from somewhere south of the Azores. It is certainly going to be very, very mild. And that's what we'll just get today 10 with the ECM just staying mild and Atlantic driven. We do cut off the warmest of that southwesterly, so we get rid of that. But, you know, this is still a mild pattern. This is still Atlantic driven, which in winter is always going to be mild. Westerlies will always be milder than easterlies in the winter. So yeah, you know, it's pretty mild. It's not as mild as it was a few days before, but still pretty mild with the ECM. And unsettled too, with low pressure bringing further spells of rain. Right, these are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today, board day 10, which will get us to the 5th of January. 14 members of the ECM ensembles have low pressure out to our west, high pressure is to our south. We do still have, you know, high pressure within the high latitudes, actually, which is a bit of a surprise given how cold the temperature is in the stratosphere at the moment. You know, we know around Greenland, because we saw it at the start of the video, got temperatures around minus 85 there, so you would expect a very strong polar vortex. Actually, we don't really have that strong of a polar vortex, I don't think, which is quite strange. There is a little bit of a disconnect probably here between the troposphere and the stratosphere, but we've got enough influence from the Atlantic to just keep those westerlies going and have put the kibosh on the cold, on the cold and snowy Christmas. Although I say some places did get snow yesterday. Anyway, the 14 members of the ECM ensembles here, proper old mess. We've got high pressure originating from the south and in the north, low pressure out to the west. Well, that's probably pretty mild, but I think bringing up winds from the southwest. 12 pushing that low pressure eastwards, and with high pressure around here, we'd be turning wind into a colder northerly. So that's kind of like what the GM is doing. 9 looking rather flat and westerly. So that's going to be Atlantic driven. 8 with high pressure ridging through the country and going a little bit further north. That does include the operation room. And then another 8 with high pressure in the Atlantic up towards Greenland, so mid-Atlantic ridge. Low pressure to the east, and winds will be coming in from the north with that. That's a little bit colder. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. It will get us to the 10th of January. 12 members of the ECM ensemble setting high pressure up right over top of the country. Mainly dry, probably frosty with that. 10 with high pressure over and slightly to our northeast, allows a bit of an easterly, not a proper Scandinavian high, but probably brings in something a little bit cooler from the east. 9 with low pressure through the country, and that's going to be relatively mild and westerly. 8 with low pressure just here, that's bringing up southwesterlies. 7, if you want cold weather, this is the best option. 7 here with high pressure to our north, and that'll be pulling in a proper northeasterly wind. That's definitely the coldest option. And then 5 just here, looking Atlantic driven, westerly and zonal as well. Rather wet, windy in the north. Lastly, CFSE2, these are 500 millibar heights, bring down to week periods. The first week period will take us from today, Boxing Day, through to the 1st of January, New Year's Day. High pressure will be to our south-southwest, low pressure will be way to the northwest, and winds will be coming in from a very mild, if not warm, southwesterly direction. Week 2 keeps it going. It's the 2nd to the 8th of January. High pressure again to our southwest. Up comes those west-southwest. Is that going to be a mild option as well? By the way, week 3 will be the 9th to the 15th of January. High pressure ridging northwards, so turning mostly dry. And we might start generating a little bit of frost and fog, but it's still overall quite a mildish sort of pattern. And then week 4 looks like that. 16th, 22nd of January. High pressure to our east, low pressure to the west. And winds coming up from a mild southerly direction. Although that high pressure is increasing towards Scandinavia, could that begin to get wind into the east later on into January? I don't know. We shall see, time will tell. Right, if you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Drop a comment, let's know about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell your friends and family about GavsWeatherVids. It's amazing, it's incredible. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. You'll be able to watch future weather content if you do. Thank you so much. Right, that's it then for this Boxing Day video. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the video on this Boxing Day. It's a little bit special when we do a video on Boxing Day. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, please give us a like. You enjoy what's left of your Boxing Day, and we shall see you tomorrow with a 7 AM upload and a 10 to 14 day as well. But for this Boxing Day video, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.